Right, hello. So we're gonna talk about qualitative research and how we're gonna make it in a high-tech environment. First of all, I like to say, although we see a lot of quant applications when it comes like AI and using data mining to understand the human insights, I still believe the role of the researcher is really important. So the researcher changed the reality. So once you go to a field, your insights, your thoughts, how you interpret data change the course of your research. So I'm going to show you a couple of examples on this in that talk. So David made a good introduction about me. So I am a director of design research at Singtel. So what I do is help our design team to get the best insights from the field using quant or qual data. So we create the best products for our customers. So today's topic is about a cat, future, and a time machine. So we're going to talk about cat, the future, and a time machine. So observer effect. Actually, today, Universal Music talk about the importance of yourself and loving yourself a lot. So the course, yourself change the reality. So your presence, your physical reality, being yourself, change the reality. So where it comes from? If you look at the modern physics, in quantum theory, there's a particle. So if you can read from the comics here. The idea of particle, it decides, okay, I'm a particle right now. So nothing changed. But as soon as you put observer into the scene, particle decide becoming a wave. So it's not particle anymore, it's a wave. The nature of the physics changed because there's an observer. So don't worry, I'm not going to go deep into physics that time, but the same thing for Schrödinger cats. So when quantum physics came, how many of you guys know, by the way, what's Schrödinger cats? Raise your hands. So you heard this story. And anyone wants to explain that to us? Any volunteer? No, okay. Right, so I try to make it simple because also I don't know that much about the quantum physics, but what I know, if Schrödinger asked that question, if the reality can change, particle can be a wave if there's an observer. If I put a cat inside a box, and also I put a mechanism where there's a poisonous gas, as you see in that picture, if the poisonous gas release, what happens to cat if there is no observer? So wouldn't the cat either dead or alive? That's the question of Schrödinger cats. So you see same thing in social sciences as well. We call it Houghton effect. This story came from that Houghton factories. It's a factory that they do electrical instruments. So they had that great idea. Okay, those days, they said, okay, let's do some experiments and try to improve the performance of the factory and the workers. So we have a treatment. So they went to the factory, they did the treatment, and they get the data. And they saw that, oh, everything is working well. Our treatment worked really nice. So researchers went back to their homes, and then after a while, they realized something happened. Oh, the treatment doesn't work anymore. Although we do the same thing, the treatment doesn't work. So they went back to data, and they saw that, oh my God, that's because observers are there, workers try to impress the researchers and the observer so they perform better. Just because of the presence of the observer, they do have better performance. But when they go to back normal, even worse performance. So observers change the reality. So they distort the reality, even for the cats as well. So for focus group studies and other, we use two-way mirrors, but sometimes, even if there is a two-way mirror, the behavior may change. So for example, a cat behave like, oh, I'm a human being, nobody's watching me, so pretending something different. So do you think the same things happen for the human beings? Let's watch an example.
Now to sport with marriage which ABC News now.
So what happened there? Okay, nobody's watching me. Yeah, camera is not working. All of a sudden, she became a cat. Oh, behaving different when she realized observers are there. So shortly, observer affect the reality. So the presence of the observer in the field may invalidate your research findings. It can change the social environment. Also, sometimes your participants in the study, they censor the information. So they behave different or they tell you something else from the reality. So let's go to future a little bit. So my question starts, okay, I don't want that observer effect. I want to observe the cat inside the box, but still there's no observer effect, but still I want to get insights about it. So meet the Unbox. Unbox is a retail store. Today we talk about retail stores a lot. That's the position of Singtel on retail store with no man inside. The only person is the customers themselves. So there is no Singtel representative physically available there, but you can still do your shopping. You can purchase your phone. You can replace your SIM card, or you can recontract your existing plans. And it's all open. And from there, directly, you can just get your accessories and phone, walk away with the plan. Why this is important, why this is feature? Because it's expected that it's going to be like $1 billion market in 2020 in the United States as well. So we want to test that environment, but without effect of observer. So this becomes our time machine. Okay, so the rule with the time machine we have with that study, first, we don't want to have any observer effect. So we want to understand the thought process and the behavior, but we don't have that observer effect there. Still, we want to be able to communicate with the user at moderated study. So you can ask yourself, why do we need those kind of studies? You can do unmoderated study. You just capture the video and the voice, and later on, you watch it and get your qual insights. But the problem there, once you have design studies, you want to see interesting insights. For example, your user says something, you want to probe that, or you want to go deeper. So that's why we need to have a moderated study over there. You can also say, why don't you do kind of ethnography or contextual inquiry, short version of ethnography? We did a hybrid version of that, so we still observe the user and we ask think aloud questions. So it's a mix of ethnography, design research, and usability testing for our settings. If you look at the Unbox experience, there are physical environments like the robot, accessories, or collection boxes. Also, we have digital universe where we have the digital kiosk. So these two things get together. So the blueprint of the time machine we have over there, we say, okay, we put the users inside on the Unbox, but we don't want anybody else in the store because this is unmanned store. Customers are welcome, but the researchers are not. So we took all the researcher designers and stakeholders in a remote space, and we watched we observed the behavior. Our research partner also helped us to put eye tracking, video and audio streaming. So without their help, we couldn't do that setting, but they help us doing that setting. And then our team started to put our high fidelity prototypes inside the Unbox. So you can see they're installing the prototype. So we can test a couple of design assumptions over there. The other important things are the observer rooms. So we said everybody's out. You can watch the experiment over there in a coffee room. You can just put your post-its and notes, or we also met with our PMs and other business stakeholders in meeting rooms and watch the events. So it's a collaborative effort. We took notes and research findings over there. The interesting thing with the study participants, if you see that guy with the circle over there, this is the participant. The rest of the coffee sitting there, actually from our company, from Synctel. So the participant didn't know that those people are going to watch him. Of course, he knew that there's a consent for video and audio recording will be there, but he wasn't aware that all the room except himself was there just for him. So let's look at the study. There's 4 minutes video for us, how we conduct that. So the circle you see over here is the eye tracking. We want to have the eye tracking over there because we are interested in the first impressions. And we ask the users to think a lot.
I saw there's a kiosk, but I don't know what's that for. Let me check.
If you want to experience that unbox, it's in Orchard Roads around Wisma. But 0093 doesn't work, so don't try. Okay? So what? So what's that all just about? So first rule, we want to have no observer effect. So we want to minimize the effect of the researcher inside the environment in Unbox, but we still want to have that rich insights, getting the eye tracking data. So we want to understand the cognitive biases. Also, we want the design to change the behavior. So I'll show you one example how this helps us to iterate the design of Unbox with the next video. When we have that 10th user, after watching all those qual insights from the eye tracking, we realize something not working for us. So if you go Unbox, there are 2 methods that you can engage with the phones. There are like phone stations. You can pick your phone and look at the latest gadgets. So if you pick, there's a big screen, and the big screen you see the plans we have, like Combo 6, Combo 9 plans, and XO plans we have. Or there's a QR code, you just read the QR code. But we realize some people are picking the phone, but nobody is using the QR code. So during that experiment, we say, okay, let's iterate Unbox, let's iterate the physical store. So what we did, we write post-its. On the post-it note, we say, pick me up. And we put it on the QR codes. So our assumption was that if you put a QR not like that, there are 3 assumptions. 1, they either don't notice it, pick the phone again. Second, they will pick the post-it, but they don't do anything with the QR codes. And there is one QR code we just left out without the post-it, so they will directly go there and read that QR code. So let's do a quiz. How many of you guys think they got phones only, pick the phones? How many of you guys think they just take the post-its, pick me up post-its? How about the QR codes? Okay, let's see the video here. The next video, I just want you guys to focus on the eye tracking. So how user decides subconsciously to pick one phone. Okay, so if you look at, if you have QR code, you're winners. So we iterate the Unbox literally over there because we see the subconscious behavior. And we also know that there's a name for that. This is one rest of effect. So that means if you left out something from the group, subconsciously, you just pick that. So we iterate Unbox because we see that qual insight during our study. So next step for us, we talk about VR today as well. Because it's really expensive to make physical changes in the store, we will try making this in a virtual reality environment. So we will test, for example, if you don't want that kiosk at left side of the store, maybe we put it at the very beginning when you go into the store, that will be the kiosk. So we will test different variations of Unbox in the VR environment. And we will see the eye trackings, and we replicate this study for the next. So the answer for the Schrödinger, he said he wished he never met the cat, if you want to see the answer. So today we talk about the cat. That means observer effect, the reality. We talk about the future, about the unbox and retail stores. So that's all about my presentation. Thank you for